Frank Sawyer stood tall on the bridge of the Intrepid Asterisk, his eyes fixed on the view screen. The stars looked different this far from Earth, but his mission remained clear. As commander of the Terran Alliance's most advanced vessel, he carried humanity's hopes for peaceful first contact. "Incoming transmission, Commander," said Communications Officer Olivia Green. Her fingers danced across the console as she decoded the alien signal. "It matches the Valkyrie patterns we received earlier." Frank nodded. "Put it through." The view screen flickered, revealing a tall, gray-skinned being with 4 yellow eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. Ridged bone structures framed its face like a natural helmet. "I am Draktor, voice of the Valkyrie Dominion," the alien said, its words translated through Dr. Green's linguistic algorithm. "We acknowledge your request for meeting." "Thank you," Frank replied, keeping his voice steady despite his racing heart. "The Terran Alliance seeks peaceful exchange of knowledge and culture. Coordinates are being transmitted. Arrive with no more than 5 representatives. Weapons will not be tolerated." The screen went dark before Frank could respond. 3 days later, the diplomatic shuttle departed from the Intrepid Asterisk. Inside sat Frank, Dr. Green, Science Officer Kyle Matthews, Security Chief Lisa Carter, and Medical Officer Bill Hansen. "Something feels off," Lisa said, checking her hidden emergency beacon for the 3rd time. Alliance regulations prohibited weapons at first contact scenarios, but allowed defensive measures. Frank shared her concern, but kept his face neutral. "Stay alert, but remember why we're here. Humanity's first alien contact needs to succeed." The shuttle approached a massive ring-shaped structure floating in space. As they docked, Dr. Green's eyes widened with excitement. "Just think of what we could learn from their technology, their history." The airlock opened to reveal a circular chamber with metallic walls covered in glowing symbols. 3 Valkyrie waited inside, taller and more imposing in person. "Welcome," said the central figure, wearing ornate armor with glowing blue lines. "I am Sub-Commander Vextar." Frank stepped forward. "Commander Frank Sawyer of the Terran Alliance. We come in peace and friendship." The Valkyrie made a sound like grinding stones, perhaps laughter. "Peace. Friendship. Such concepts are luxuries of the powerful or delusions of the weak." Before anyone could react, metal restraints shot from the walls, binding the human's arms and legs. Frank struggled against them as Vextar approached. "The Valkyrie Dominion has conquered 17 civilizations across this galactic sector," Vextar explained calmly. "Some fought. Some surrendered. All serve." Dr. Green's translation device continued to function. "This is a violation of diplomatic protocol," she protested. "There is no diplomacy between master and servant," Vextar replied. "Only terms of submission." A holographic display activated, showing 2 human outposts on distant worlds. Without warning, beams of light struck both locations, leaving nothing but debris floating in space. "Outposts Delta and Epsilon," Lisa whispered. 3,000 colonists. "A demonstration," Vextar said. "Your species will submit to the Dominion. Your resources, your worlds, and your people will serve us. Resistance will result in extinction." Frank kept his face expressionless, though rage burned inside him. "And if we choose to join your Dominion? Wise choice. You will maintain limited autonomy under Valkyrie oversight. 20% of your population will be relocated to serve Dominion needs. Your military will be disbanded." A small device floated toward Frank. "This contains our terms. Your leaders have 30 days to accept submission. After that, we begin systematic elimination of human settlements." "You underestimate us," Frank said quietly. Vextar leaned close. "No, Commander. We have studied your kind thoroughly. You are divided, primitive, and technologically inferior. Your ships are slow. Your weapons are primitive. Your outposts are undefended. The restraints suddenly released. Return to Earth. Convince your leaders that submission is the only rational choice." As the humans were escorted back to their shuttle, Kyle whispered to Frank, "They don't know about Project Thunderstrike." Frank nodded slightly. The Valkyrie had made a critical mistake. They believed humanity's visible technology represented their true capabilities. They didn't know about the hidden fleets, the advanced weapons platforms, or the military AI systems developed in secret. The Valkyrie wanted to intimidate humanity. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant. The Terran Alliance Council chamber buzzed with tension. 50 representatives from Earth and its colonies sat in curved rows facing a central podium. Behind them, large windows showed the gleaming towers of New Geneva, Earth's capital since the unification. President Henry Martinez walked to the podium, his face grim. The room fell silent. 3 days ago, our diplomatic mission made contact with the Valkyrie Dominion, he said. They returned with this. He held up the alien device, which projected images of the destroyed outposts. Gasps and angry murmurs filled the room. Commander Frank Sawyer stood next, still wearing his uniform from the mission. The Valkyrie demand our complete submission within 30 days. They believe we are weak and will surrender rather than face extinction. Admiral Samantha Price, a tall woman with silver hair and piercing eyes, stepped forward. As head of the Terran Defense Force, her opinion carried enormous weight. The Valkyrie rely on fear, she said. Their ships are powerful, but our intelligence suggests they exaggerate their capabilities. They don't know about our hidden strength. She activated a holographic display showing a massive shipyard built into an asteroid. Inside the hollow rock, dozens of warships waited in darkness. Project Thunderstrike has been in development for 15 years, she continued. After our first deep space scans detected multiple alien civilizations, we prepared for this possibility. These ships and weapons remain undetected because they use no power until activated. Kyle Matthews, who had been on the diplomatic mission, stood up from his seat among the council members. The Valkyrie studied our public technology, our civilian ships, our communication networks. They know nothing about our military capabilities. President Martinez looked around the room. We face a critical choice: submission or resistance. I call for a vote. The vote took less than a minute. The result was unanimous. Humanity would fight. Martinez nodded solemnly. Then we must organize for war. I propose an emergency measure: the formation of the Terran Empire. More discussion followed. Unlike historical empires built on conquest, this would be a unified government with emergency powers, designed to coordinate humanity's response to the Valkyrie threat. By evening, Martinez had become Emperor Martins, though his powers remained limited by constitutional checks. His first order activated the dormant shipyards and defense systems throughout human space. Dr. Olivia Green worked with a team of linguists and computer specialists in a secure facility beneath the Pacific Ocean. The Valkyrie transmissions contained valuable data about their fleet movements and command structure. Look at this pattern, she told Kyle, who had joined her team. Their ships communicate on regular intervals. If we can disrupt those signals, we might confuse their formations. Kyle nodded, his fingers flying across his keyboard. I'm developing an AI that can predict and block their communication patterns. But we need more data. Across Earth and its colonies, factories converted to military production. Children no longer attended schools, which now served as community centers where civilians learned emergency protocols. The news media broadcast information about the Valkyrie and how to prepare for possible attacks. In orbit around Mars, Admiral Price inspected the first activated battleship, the Retribution Asterisk. Unlike the sleek science vessels humanity had previously built, this was a massive machine of war, its hull bristling with weapon systems developed in secret. When will the fleet be ready? Emperor Martinez asked via secure communication. 10 days for the first strike force, Price replied. But the Valkyrie don't know that. They expect us to cower for the full 30 days before either surrendering or making a desperate last stand. And instead, we'll hit them first, sir, hard and fast. They think they're hunting us, but we're about to become the hunters. Martinez nodded. Proceed with Operation Thunderstrike. As the communication ended, Martinez looked out at the city below. People moved with purpose, united by the threat. The Valkyrie thought they were intimidating a fragmented, fearful species. They had no idea what they had awakened. Humanity was not just organizing a defense. They were planning a war. Colonel Bill Hansen checked his stealth suit one last time. Around him, 20 elite soldiers did the same. Their ship, the Shadow Asterisk, drifted silently toward a massive structure floating in space, a Valkyrie communication relay. Remember, Bill said to his team, we have 30 minutes to plant the devices and get out. No energy weapons unless absolutely necessary. The soldiers nodded. They had trained for this mission using data from the diplomatic encounter. Each carried special explosive charges designed to look like equipment failures when they detonated. The Shadow Asterisk attached to the relay with magnetic clamps. No alarms sounded. The Valkyrie, confident in their superiority, had minimal security on their outer territories. Bill's team moved through the station in 3 groups. They encountered only 4 Valkyrie technicians, who were quickly subdued with silent, nerve-paralyzing darts. Charges set in Sector 1. Came the first report through their secure communication system. Sector 2 complete. Another team reported minutes later. Bill's own team placed the final charges near the main power core. All charges set. Return to extraction point. As they regrouped at the ship, one soldier dragged an unconscious Valkyrie technician. Sir, this one has command insignia. Might have valuable information. Bill nodded. Bring him. 15 seconds to detonation. Move. The Shadow Asterisk detached just as the first explosion rocked the station. More followed in a carefully planned sequence. To anyone watching, it would appear that a catastrophic system failure had cascaded through the relay. Similar operations happened simultaneously across Valkyrie space. 5 communication relays went dark within the same hour. In another part of Valkyrie territory, Major Lisa Carter led a different kind of mission. Her target was a Valkyrie outpost on a small moon, supposedly a research facility, but actually a forward military base. Guard patrol approaching, whispered her second-in-command. 3 Valkyrie, heavy weapons. Lisa signaled her team to hold position. Unlike Bill's stealth mission, hers required direct confrontation. They needed access to the base's computers, and, if possible, a high-ranking prisoner. When the patrol passed, Lisa gave the signal. Her team attacked with precision. The Valkyrie guards fell before they could sound an alarm. Move to the main building. Remember, we need Sub-Commander Vextar alive. Intelligence from Dr. Green's team had revealed that Vextar, the same officer who had threatened the diplomatic mission, was stationed at this outpost. His knowledge could be crucial. The human strike team breached the facility. Alarms blared, but they moved faster than the Valkyrie could respond. Years of training in Earth's most extreme environments had prepared them for this moment. Lisa found Vextar in the command center, frantically trying to contact his superiors. The communication failures caused by Bill's mission had left him isolated. "Remember me?" Lisa asked, her weapon trained on the alien. Vextar's 4 yellow eyes widened in recognition. "Impossible. You are primitives. You should have studied us more carefully," Lisa replied. She signaled 2 soldiers who quickly secured the alien. "We've been preparing for threats like you for generations." Meanwhile, on a Valkyrie warship far from these attacks, Admiral Korax received disturbing reports. 5 relay stations have gone silent, his officer reported. "We've lost contact with the research outpost on Moon Base 7. Korax slammed his fist on his command chair. "These cannot be accidents. Find out what's happening." "Sir, we're detecting unusual energy signatures from Terran space. Their ships are moving." "Moving? They should be cowering in fear. Prepare the invasion fleet immediately. We will crush these humans before they can organize any meaningful resistance." Back on Earth, Emperor Martinez received the first reports of the successful missions. Both Bill and Lisa had completed their objectives with minimal casualties. More importantly, they had captured Vextar and gained access to Valkyrie data systems. "They've taken the bait," Admiral Price reported, watching the Valkyrie fleet movements on her display. "They're accelerating their invasion timetable, just as we predicted." Martinez nodded. "Good. Let them come to us on our terms, not theirs." The Valkyrie had expected submission or desperate resistance. Instead, humanity had launched the first strikes of what would become a much larger war. Admiral Samantha Price stood on the bridge of the Valiant Asterisk, the largest ship in humanity's newly revealed fleet. Through the view screen, the massive form of Jupiter filled half the sky. The gas giant's swirling storms seemed to mirror the conflict about to unfold. "Valkyrie fleet approaching Jupiter's orbit," reported her tactical officer. 87 warships detected. Samantha nodded calmly. "Deploy the fleet as planned. Defensive positions around Ganymede, Callisto, and Europa." The Terran fleet moved into position. 53 warships, each built in secret over the past decade, took shelter behind Jupiter's largest moons. Smaller attack vessels hid within the planet's faint rings. "Message from Captain Ethan Miller on the Defiance Asterisk," said the communications officer. Ethan's face appeared on a smaller screen. His ship was positioned at the front of the defensive line. "Admiral, my crew is ready. We understand our role." "Good hunting, Captain," Samantha replied, knowing what his mission would cost. "Your sacrifice will not be forgotten." On Earth, billions of people watched the coming battle through live feeds. Emperor Martinez addressed the population from his command center. "Today, humanity faces its greatest challenge," he said. "But we will show these invaders that we will not be intimidated or conquered." The Valkyrie fleet entered Jupiter's orbit in a tight formation. Their flagship, twice the size of any other vessel, led the way. Admiral Korax stood on its bridge, confident in his victory. "These humans think hiding behind a planet will save them," he said to his officers. "Their primitive ships will be destroyed within hours." The battle began with a surprise. As the Valkyrie fleet passed through a seemingly empty section of space, mines detonated around them. Dozens of small explosions damaged the outer ships. "Defensive fire," Korax ordered. His ships fired energy weapons at unseen targets. Captain Ethan Miller watched the Valkyrie response from the Defiance Asterisk, hidden behind a small moon. "They're following the expected pattern." Moving to position, his ship broke cover, racing toward the Valkyrie flagship. 3 enemy vessels moved to intercept. "All power to forward shields and engines," Ethan ordered. His crew worked quickly, knowing what was coming. The Defiance Asterisk took heavy damage but kept moving. When it reached the Valkyrie flagship, Ethan gave his final order: "Activate the Nova Drive." The experimental drive had never been tested in combat. It created a controlled energy reaction similar to a small star going supernova. The Defiance Asterisk exploded in a blinding flash, taking the Valkyrie flagship with it. The energy wave damaged 20 nearby enemy ships. Admiral Korax died instantly, along with his command staff. Without central leadership, the Valkyrie fleet fell into confusion. "Now," Admiral Price ordered. The Terran fleet emerged from hiding, attacking from multiple directions. The battle lasted 7 hours. Human ships, though fewer in number, used Jupiter's gravity to outmaneuver the Valkyrie. They targeted enemy vessels one by one, focusing fire on key systems. By the end, 39 Valkyrie ships had been destroyed. The rest retreated, jumping to faster-than-light speed. On Earth, people celebrated their first victory. Crowds filled the streets of every city. The name Ethan Miller was displayed on buildings and monuments. In her office, Dr. Olivia Green continued interrogating the captured sub-commander Vextar. The Valkyrie officer had grown less confident with each passing day. "Your defeat at Jupiter was inevitable," she told him. "Just as your defeat in this war is inevitable." "Impossible," Vextar replied. but his voice lacked conviction. The Dominion has never lost a war. There's always a first time, Olivia said. Now tell me about the other species under Valkyrie control, the ones you conquered before us. Vextar hesitated, then began to speak. What he revealed would change the course of the war. In his command center, Emperor Martinez received reports of the victory. This is just the beginning, he told his advisors. Now we take the fight to them. The Terran Empire had defended its home system. Next, it would go on the offensive. Kyle Matthews worked without sleep for 3 days. His office at Terran Intelligence Headquarters was filled with diagrams and holographic displays showing alien communication patterns. Empty coffee cups littered his desk. I think I've got it, he said to Dr. Olivia Green, who had just entered the room. A way to bypass Valkyrie communication blocks. Olivia looked excited. Show me. Kyle tapped his console, bringing up a complex signal pattern. The Valkyrie use these frequencies to control their subject worlds. But there's a gap here and here. He pointed to specific points in the pattern. We can squeeze our messages through. Can you test it? Olivia asked. Already have. Kyle smiled tiredly. We sent a simple message to one of the worlds Vextar told us about, the Zentari homeworld. They responded. This news went straight to Emperor Martinez, who called an emergency meeting with his top advisors. Ambassador Caroline Wright, a veteran diplomat with gray hair and sharp eyes, was summoned from her post on Mars. The Zentari are insectoid beings, Caroline explained to the group, studying the information Vextar had provided. They were the third species conquered by the Valkyrie. They've been under Dominion control for over 40 years. Are they potential allies? Martins asked. According to Vextar, they've attempted 3 rebellions. The Valkyrie executed thousands after each one. But they never stopped resisting. Admiral Price nodded with approval. Sounds like our kind of people, even if they're not people as we know them. Martinez turned to Kyle. How quickly can you establish reliable communication with all 17 conquered worlds? The Zentari first, Kyle replied. They have technology that can help us reach the others. Give me 2 weeks. 17 days later, Ambassador Caroline addressed the first multi-species resistance council. Through holographic technology, leaders from 8 different alien races gathered virtually. The Zentari representative looked like a 7-foot-tall praying mantis. The Novari were crystalline beings that glowed with inner light. Others had forms humans could barely comprehend, but all shared one thing: hatred of their Valkyrie oppressors. The Terran Empire offers alliance and support, Caroline told them. We have proven the Valkyrie can be defeated in battle. Together, we can end their dominion over all our worlds. Pretty words, said the Zentari leader, his mandibles clicking. But how do we know you won't become new masters after the Valkyrie are gone? Caroline had anticipated this question. We propose a galactic concordat, equal representation for all species. No single race will rule over others. She sent them documents outlining this proposed alliance. The aliens were surprised by humanity's willingness to share power. Your species is young, said the Novari representative, her crystalline form pulsing with light. Yet you understand what the Valkyrie never did. True strength comes from cooperation, not domination. One by one, the conquered species agreed to rise against their oppressors. The Zentari would lead the first rebellion, timed to coincide with a Terran attack on a major Valkyrie military base. Meanwhile, trouble brewed within the Valkyrie leadership. Supreme Commander Draktor faced growing criticism. You assured us these humans would be easily conquered, said one of his generals. Instead, they destroyed our flagship and now speak with our subject worlds. Traitors will be punished, Draktor growled. Ready the planet killer weapon. We will make an example of one human colony. Unknown to Draktor, Dr. Green and Zentari scientists had been working on a new weapon of their own. Using knowledge of Valkyrie biology provided by their prisoner, they developed a compound that affected the aliens' nervous systems. It won't kill them, Olivia explained to Martins during a secure briefing. But it will temporarily paralyze them. One canister can incapacitate an entire ship's crew. Martinez nodded. Mass produce it. We'll need enough for the next phase. On the Zentari homeworld, resistance fighters prepared hidden weapons. On the Novari crystal planets, ancient defense systems powered up for the first time in decades. The Valkyrie Empire had ruled through fear for centuries. Now, for the first time, it faced enemies on multiple fronts, all because they had tried to intimidate the wrong species. Admiral Samantha Price stood on the bridge of her flagship, now renamed the Ethan Miller in honor of the fallen captain. Around her ship, a massive fleet gathered. Human vessels flew alongside ships from 7 alien races, all united against the Valkyrie Dominion. Final count, her first officer reported. 213 combat ships, including 47 Zentari hive cruisers and 32 Novari crystal ships. Samantha nodded. Status of Operation Shatterstrike. Zentari rebellion forces have taken control of 3 major Valkyrie supply bases. The Novari have disabled the defense grid in Sector 7. We have a clear path to the Valkyrie Military Academy. The plan was working. 2 months after forming the alliance, the combined forces had pushed deep into Valkyrie territory. Each victory freed more subjugated worlds, adding to their strength. Colonel Bill Hansen led the ground assault on the Valkyrie Military Academy. His dropships landed under heavy fire, but soon established a beachhead. Move forward. Bill ordered his mixed force of human and alien troops. Remember, we need those databanks intact. The Valkyrie cadets fought with the fanatical loyalty they had been taught since birth, but they had never faced this kind of enemy. Humans who fought with strategic precision alongside insectoid Zentari warriors who climbed walls and attacked from above. In the Academy's central tower, Bill found the main data center. Download everything, he told his tech specialists, and check for prisoners. In the lower levels, they discovered thousands of alien beings held in stasis pods, young members of conquered species, taken to be indoctrinated or used as test subjects. Free them all, Bill ordered. Get medical teams down here. On the Valkyrie homeworld, Supreme Commander Draktur received news of the Academy's fall. His inner circle was shrinking as more officials were executed for failures or suspected disloyalty. We cannot win this war through conventional means, he told his remaining generals. The humans have united our slaves against us. Then we must use the final protocol, said General Vorkat. Destroy their homeworld. Without Earth, the human resistance will crumble. Draktur considered this. The final protocol involved a weapon that could crack a planet's crust. It had been used only once before, against a species that had since been forgotten. No, he decided finally. The humans have spread too far. Destroying Earth would only enrage them further. He paused. We must negotiate. His generals looked shocked. The Valkyrie had never negotiated with inferior species. Better terms now than extinction later, Draktur said firmly. I will contact the human emperor directly. Emperor Martinez was surprised to receive the transmission. Draktur's gray face appeared on the screen, his 4 yellow eyes blinking rapidly. Emperor Martinez, the Valkyrie began. This conflict benefits neither of our peoples. I propose immediate cessation of hostilities and boundary negotiations. Martinez kept his face neutral. Your proposal comes after you threatened our extinction. Supreme Commander, why should we trust you now? Because continued war will destroy both our civilizations, Draktur replied. I offered generous terms. The transmission suddenly cut off. Martinez looked to his communications officer. Sir, the officer said, checking his instruments. The signal was terminated from the Valkyrie end. Later reports revealed the truth. While Draktur was speaking, General Vorkat had entered the room and shot him in the back. The general then declared himself the new Supreme Commander and ordered all forces to continue fighting. Major Lisa Carter received a new mission. With a small team of special forces, she would infiltrate the Valkyrie homeworld and extract a group of moderate Valkyrie officials who opposed Vorkat's leadership. This could end the war, Admiral Price told her. If we can establish a Valkyrie government willing to negotiate, we can avoid the complete destruction of their civilization. Lisa nodded. My team is ready. As her stealth ship approached the Valkyrie homeworld, Lisa studied the faces of her squad. Human, Zentari, and Novari soldiers working together, something unimaginable just months ago. The war was entering its final phase. Victory seemed certain, but the true challenge would come after, building a peace that would last. 3 years after the Valkyrie first threatened Earth, their homeworld stood surrounded by the ships of the Allied forces. The once mighty Dominion had crumbled, system by system, as their subject species revolted and their military bases fell. General Vorkat, the last supreme commander, had been captured during the Battle of Karax Prime. Major Lisa Carter's mission had succeeded beyond expectations. Her team had not only extracted moderate Valkyrie officials, but had also disabled the planetary defense systems from within. Emperor Martinez stood on the observation deck of the Valiant Asterisk, looking down at the gray-blue world that had birthed humanity's greatest threat. Is the orbital bombardment ready? Asked one of his military advisors. Martinez shook his head. There will be no bombardment. We are not the Valkyrie. We don't destroy civilizations. Instead, Martinez sent a message to the planet below. The remaining Valkyrie leadership faced a choice: surrender and join a new galactic order, or face complete isolation, cut off from all trade and resources. It took just 3 days for the answer to come. The Valkyrie civil government, finally free from military control, agreed to surrender. 1 month later, representatives from 22 species gathered on a neutral space station. Ambassador Caroline Wright led the human delegation. The meeting room had been specially designed to accommodate beings of all shapes, sizes, and environmental needs. We propose the formation of the Galactic Concordat, Caroline announced, a union of free worlds working together for mutual defense and prosperity. The founding document was projected for all to see. Unlike the Valkyrie Dominion, this new alliance would give equal voice to all member species. No single race would rule over others. Most surprising to many was that Earth, despite leading the liberation, did not demand special status. Power corrupts, Caroline explained when asked about this choice. The Terran Empire was formed for war. Now we return to democratic principles, as one member among equals. A reformed Valkyrie delegation, led by moderates who had opposed the war, asked to join the Concordat. How can we trust them? Demanded the Zentari representative, his mandibles clicking angrily. After centuries of oppression, Caroline turned to Dr. Olivia Green, who had become an expert on Valkyrie culture. Olivia stood and addressed the gathering. The Valkyrie you knew were shaped by a military dictatorship, she explained. Their children were taken at birth and raised to believe in their superiority. Yet even then, some questioned this path. Those are the Valkyrie who stand before you now. After much debate, the Concordat agreed to admit the Valkyrie, but with restrictions. They would have observer status for 20 years before gaining full membership. Back on Earth, Frank Sawyer, the commander who had first encountered the Valkyrie, received a promotion. Now Admiral Sawyer, he would lead humanity's new exploration initiative. Our mistake was waiting for others to find us, he told the graduating class at the Space Academy. Now we will seek out new civilizations, not as conquerors or subjects, but as friends and allies. Emperor Martinez formally dissolved the Terran Empire, returning to his role as president of the restored Terran Alliance. In his final act as emperor, he dedicated a memorial to those lost in the war. Kyle Matthews continued working with alien scientists, developing technology that would benefit all Concordat members. His communication system became the foundation for a galactic network, allowing instant translation between species. 10 years later, a new unknown signal was detected beyond Concordat space. Admiral Frank Sawyer prepared to lead the first contact mission. "Are you nervous?" asked Dr. Green, now his chief science officer. Frank smiled. "Not this time. We're ready for whatever's out there." As his ship departed Earth, Frank reflected on how much had changed. A threat meant to intimidate humanity had instead united the galaxy. The Valkyrie had tried to make humans submit through fear. Instead, they had awakened something far greater: the human capacity to inspire hope across the stars.